Good morning. What a change a couple of days make. Got up this morning and snow on the deck and snow on the ground. Nothing appreciable, nothing significant, but it's still there and the wind's blowing and carrying on. So I'm staying inside for devotions this morning. But today is Good Friday. It is without question the most difficult of the Passion days. It is the day where Jesus' journey fell to treachery. One of the worst things that a person can do, in my opinion, is betray somebody, betray their word, just be a betrayal. But that's what happened in Jesus' case. A person that he knew it was coming. It was portrayed that it was prophesied that it was coming, and Jesus knew everything, so he knew it was coming. But his final hours were incredibly painful. According to Scripture, Judas was so overcome with remorse that he had done this to Jesus that he went out and hanged himself. But meanwhile, about 9 a.m., which is not long from the time now, it's about 7:30 now, and so 9 a.m. that morning, Jesus was arrested, he was condemned, he was falsely accused, he was mocked, he was beat. He was brought before a group of people and asked, should I release him, or, what should I do with Jesus? And they cried out, crucify him, crucify him. And then he was beaten, all sorts of terrible tortures, including a crown of thorns being shoved down upon his head. I'm not going to read all the scripture relating to that moment or to those trials and to that time, but he went through hours of sheer torture and agony. And all the while, his disciples, in fear, and I'm not saying I would have done any different. I would like to think that I would have, but these were good men. They ran. They went into hiding. Finally, on that day, he was forced to carry his cross after enduring a beating with a cat of nine tails that literally flayed his body, that literally laid his body open to the bone in places. After enduring incredible beatings, incredible blood loss, being beat in the face, having his beard torn from his face, after all of this, he was forced to carry his own cross up Golgotha's hill. And there they laid him down and nailed him to that cross. We have to remember that he did this for you. He did this for me. Finally, and what's incredible in Luke 23:24, the first words that he spoke while he's on the cross, the first thing that he said after mankind had betrayed him so completely, the first words that came out of his mouth were, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Finally, his last words were, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. I don't deserve that kind of love. None of us do. But that's what today represents. We call it Good Friday, and I should have done a little study on the history of how it came to be known as Good Friday. I guess it's because it's good that Jesus loved us enough to sacrifice himself for us. But there was nothing good about this day for Jesus. So as you go through the day, please remember that the greatest display of love that the world has ever seen happened on this day a couple of thousand years ago. And it's not just a historical event. It happened because you and I were loved so much that Jesus chose to endure that pain and sacrifice. I guess this isn't a very upbeat devotional, but today is a very special day. Sunday, special too. That's the day of victory. That's the day of triumph. But today is a day that we need to never forget. I don't know if there's anybody else alive, anybody else that ever lived, that would have made that kind of sacrifice, not just for his family, not just for the people that he cared about, as far as good people or people that loved him back, but even the people that beat him with the cat of nine tails and nailed him to the cross. He died for them too. He died for you and me, whom hadn't even been born yet. Well, please remember how precious the meaning of today is. Hope you have a great day today. God bless you in all that you do. Bye.